we're pinning the damper. All right. What's up, guys? I don't know what video this is gonna be on, or anything like that, but got intake on. This is temporary until I get something better, because the high ram I had ordered came with the wrong fuel rails, and the fuel rails are currently on back order until May. So I just bought this, the Victor Jr., so that's temporary, but it'll work for now.
Thanks, Russell.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it. Got the Torque Storm on. Got the intercooler. This is a 4-inch intercooler. We managed to fit. Dad made brackets for it to mount it, and we did have to cut off the horns that the upper bumper mounts completely off. So I'm hoping the bottom, the middle mounts are strong enough to kind of hold it. And now pretty much all is left is fuel line and intercooler piping,
Yep.
and it'll be done.
Yeah,
Ready
that'll.
to tune. I got also a new grill for it. I got some new lights for it. I don't think we did a video on that, but I got new headlight lenses and all that stuff for it, the housing.
It's coming together, guys.
Yeah.
Finally putting some hours in, working on it. So
Yep.
I guess we'll end it right here, and then we'll come back once we get a little farther on the progress.
Yep. For now, we might have to disconnect the piping for this.
Well, that ain't gonna make so much boost, is it?
I don't know.
All right, go over everything, John.
I can get that from work.
Over everything.
Everything that y'all done.
Where do we leave off at?
Piping and where y'all had it all mocked up.
So we had to move the fans over to make the
Yeah.
radiator hose.
The radiator hose, with the lower radiator hose was the difficult part with running. So this is a 4.3 V6 Vortec radiator. These are Dodge Intrepid fans, and it'll work with the Torque Storm setup, the Torque Storm bracketry. But because the thermostat housing is straight instead of a 45, like typically on an LS, we basically had to essentially make our own radiator hose. So I mean, you just have to find something that's makes an S like this, and then cut the center out and shorten it, because I didn't find anything that was an exact fit. So I just got 1.25 inch coupler, ICT billet coupler for it, and cut it, pushed it together, and then clamped it down, and that'll work. We still have a decent amount of room, so the fan won't hit. None of the belts will hit.
Intercoolers in.
Yep,
Bumpers
intercoolers in and mounted. This is a 4-inch intercooler. So with the 4-inch intercooler, you got to pretty much cut off the horns that come off of the frame that are for the upper bumper mounts. And then I had to cut off the tabs for that too. So a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch intercooler, I think you can make work and still have all your mountings for your bumper and everything. But I went with 4-inch because I'm trying to get
As much cooling.
much cooling as I can.
Yeah.
So with a 4-inch, you will have to cut off the horns and then cut off some tabs. You'll be cutting off some stuff.
We did have some issues while welding it. I guess some of the piping that we got, I guess, had a lot of stuff inside the metal. So the piping we got from Vibrant Performance welded a lot better than this chrome polish stuff. We do have to put the wastegate on. You said the plugs will be in today.
Boost valves.
They're
Boost
blow-off
valves. Blow-off valves.
Yeah, no wastegates. This ain't no turbo.
Yeah, blow-off valves. And then we are getting the spark plugs in today.
Spark plug wires are coming today.
Yep.
Um,
So we should be able to start it.
yeah, and then I have a new grill for it to run.
Crack that one all to
Because
pieces.
the old one is falling apart, so I got a new one. And then I have to run a line from the catch can over to the oil cap on the passenger side. I have a oil cap that goes to a 10A fitting, and I can run a barb fitting off of that. So both sides are getting vented.
Nice. It's definitely getting there. Dad, you want to
Yeah.
go over Midnight Madness?
Midnight Madness. Okay. We went out to Maryland. I had everything loaded up. We were ready to roll. If you guys remember back at Truck Wars, we had an issue with the truck going out and making a backfire. So I thought I had it fixed. I replaced the cam sensor, crank sensor. I went through the wiring, put everything back together. Well, when we went out to Midnight Madness, first shakedown run, went out like 60 feet and backfired. Same issue.
You'll see it in this clip right here.
You can see from the clip that it backfired. So we brought it back to the pits. Basically tried to put another tune in it, and we tried that and still the same issue. So we loaded it up on the trailer and brought it back to the house. And as you can see, got the original harness that was in the truck. Now this is an LS2 engine. And when I first got the Holley system, I ordered a harness for a 24X, 1X cam and crank. Well, on an LS2, the cam sensor is on the front of the motor. So I had to use pigtails because this will not lay out correctly the way the engine's designed. So basically what I did was, I'm getting rid of that. I got a 58X harness that lays out correctly for an LS2. And from what Holley says, all we had to do was switch the cam connector wires, which I've already done.
The pins.
The pins, we switched A and C. I did that. They also neglected to mention that the crank sensor connector is different on a 24X and a 58X. So I took the connector off of the old harness and put it on the new harness. On the old harness, it has the one that came on here, and that's for your gray 58X crank sensor. So mine is the black crank sensor, and the tabs are different. As you can see right here and right there, those will not go together. So I took this one off the original harness that I had and put it on the brand new harness, and now it connects like it's supposed to. Now, they did not say anything about switching A and C on the crank harness, so I'm assuming it's good to go.
We'll find out when we go to crank it.
So I looked at the old harness and it looks like everything is gonna work. So I'm in the process of cleaning up the rest of the wiring on the truck.
Don't need the transmission harness anymore.
We're gonna get rid of the transmission harness. I did get rid of the emergency brake because it's right there where all this bulkhead, where all the wiring's coming through. So I got rid of that. The anti-roll bar from TRZ just came in, so hopefully we can get that installed. I've got the new leaf springs from Caltrac to put on here too, so I'm hoping to get all this done before the next no prep or no time.
Yeah, no clock.
No
Clock
clock.
Street.
Hopefully both trucks will be there.
Summer Ducks thing.
Yeah.
Gonna do top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
top
I
10.
want one of those stickers.
I know. So we're working hard. It's just, it takes a lot of time to do this stuff and make sure it's done right. And I mean, hopefully this fixes the issue. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna put a crank trigger on the front of the motor. So we'll just see what happens.
Yep. So, I mean, really the problem just showed itself out of the blue for some
Yeah.
reason. We don't know why or what developed it.
It was right after I changed the O2 sensor, and all that stuff is connected back there in the back. So maybe I pulled a pin loose or something, or a wire loose or something. That's the only thing I could think of, because it was an intermittent issue. If you remember, we went to Truck Wars.
It did at
and
the
it did
mini.
it like on the first test pass, and then
It went away.
it went away
Yeah, until the first race.
until we went to back for the race.
Yeah,
And then-
when it actually mattered,
Yeah.
it did it.
and then it did it. So it's definitely an intermittent issue. And if I thought it was the reluctor wheel, it would
You
be
would
a
see.
constant issue.
And
you
also
know?
you would see material in the oil
Yeah, we
and the
checked the
filter.
oil.
We cut the filter apart and all that, like we said.
I actually tried to move the crank forward this morning to see if it was maybe a thrust bearing issue, and there is no play at all. So I don't know. I'm just shooting in the dark, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry that video didn't work out. It was going to turn out pretty good, but there was no reason to stay after we had that issue and we needed to get back home to get this thing on the lift. But we're going to continue to plug away at this S10 and hopefully bring you back when we're ready to start it. All right, so bumper's fully mounted on. They B-rolled all the piping, intercooler piping, that's why it's off. John's got the grill, the new one. We got to cut it to fit it, so we got a lot of the stuff cut out of it. All the tabs swapped over. We're gonna get this grill mounted on. Plug wires are on, so hopefully we start it up today, if not next weekend.